afternoon, Wandisile.
Good afternoon, bro.
Just to reflect right now as to where you are within your game since joining the Bulls. It's been quite a season for you, you know. But then how would you sort of go about putting your time with the union so far?
It's been great, man. It's been fantastic. I mean, I'm learning a lot every day, learning a lot every month. In terms of me personally, I mean, I know for a fact I haven't reached the strides I would have loved to reach right now. But I mean, that's sports. I mean, there's ups and downs, and one thing I can do is just carry on working hard. And I know sooner I'll reach my strides and then reach that optimal, what can I say, form that I know I can possibly reach.
I mean, has it been frustrating for you, not playing at the levels that you know you can play and you can deliver? At times, you've shown, at this, or there was a game in the Champions Cup whereby you just dominated the whole game, and then suddenly you've went up out of the gates for a while. But then has that been frustrating for you?
I think it's as frustrating for me as for anyone. I mean, as athletes, we're all competitive creatures. So, I mean, I'm a competitive athlete as well. So I always want to play at the highest level. And in saying that, I know for a fact that I'm not where I want to be in terms of my form, in terms of the things that I want to achieve on the field. So as frustrating as it is, I got no one to blame but myself to just carry on working hard in the sense of putting in the hard work at the training field. When I get my opportunity, flip and give it my all, and then also not getting too frustrated in the sense of trying to force things. I mean, it's more important for the team to do well and for us, for me personally, to do well in the structure of the team. So as much as it is frustrating, much I just know I must just keep on working hard and it'll come.
I mean, working with a guy like Jake, I'm sure you do trust the process, but then what are some of the communications, that you've had with him in terms of for you to develop as a player?
Yeah, there's lots of comms. There's a lot. I mean, we obviously things that we can't chat about out there, but there's lots of communication. I know exactly where I stand in terms of the team, in terms of him. So as I said, it's just a matter of me working hard, getting my form, and I 100% believe that things will come right.
Cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
And thanks, Ati Ashfaq.
Thanks, Runga. I Wandisile, JP Boys finest. I've watched you since your junior days, Isa in the 20s and that, and coming through at the Lions, and you always played with such confidence, trying things and going full tilt for it. I know you see now some of the things you can't say about communicating with Jake and all of that, but it must be tricky to negotiate playing fullback one week, wing the next week, then a couple of center games, and then you go back to the wing. How has that process been? I know obviously you're not going to come out and say Jake doesn't know what he's doing here, but just in terms of your feelings at the moment.
With my feelings at the moment, I mean, as I said, I'm just working hard to get back to my full potential, full form that I know I can reach. And I mean, whether that's at wing, fullback, center, I mean, right now, I just want to be on the field playing as many minutes as I possibly can to reach that form. And then once am at that form, then 100% playing center, outside center will always be number one position. But right now, as I'm saying, I'm as competitive as I am, and I know I definitely want to compete week in, week out at the highest level. I just need to work hard, get my form back, put in a couple of good 80-minute games, and then take it from there. I mean, there's method to the madness. I'm getting week in, week out, I'm getting more comfortable at playing at 15. And yeah, center will definitely come natural for me. I can wake up any day and play outside center, but 15 is a bit of work to be done there. And I must say, there's massive improvement from the first game that I played at 15 when I got here. I think it was last year June or whenever. And yeah, I mean, I'm getting more comfortable there. And in saying that, I know for a fact, I keep on repeating it. I know for a fact I'll get back to my best. And yeah, that will definitely be sooner rather than later.
Jake has spoken many times to us about the virtues of you playing in those different positions. He feels that you can make the Springbok squad if you're able to play 15 particularly as well, because we all know you can do the job at outside center, no problem, as you say, in your sleep. What would you say are the skills that you still need to develop and work on to make a success of 15 in particular?
I think the skills in both positions. I mean, in 13, I'm not a complete 13 at all. I mean, this definitely a million of skills I still need to work on. I mean, I watch an inspiration like Lucanio, how many things he gets right in that 13 positions, things that I certainly need to definitely work on. And then I watch great fullbacks like Villy Leroux, Kurt Lear that we have that are flippant. They're very good at certain things that they do at 15, which I sometimes don't get right. So in both positions, there's definitely work-ons, and it makes it very, very interesting for me, or not interesting, gives me a lot of work and a lot of how can I put it, pressure also to be able to juggle both positions and have maybe, for example, Monday, Tuesday working at 13 in certain things that I need there, and the next 2 days working at 15 with certain things that I need there. So it's two different positions, but I mean, I'm loving the challenge at the moment. As I said, the minute I hit rock bottom and I work on everything I need to work on, it will just be up from here.
Cool, man. You're a bowler, you'll get there, man. You'll get there. Just for this weekend against the Lions, your former team, always nice to play against a former team and just show them what you can still do.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's always lovely playing against the Lions. I mean, all my friends are still there at the Lions. I mean, I still live in Joburg, so I bump into them probably twice a week. So it's lovely just playing against them on the field. Yeah.
Thanks, Ashfaq. Kanyuso.
Wandi, good afternoon. I hope all is well. How important is patience in this personal development journey that you're on? Yes, as you rightly said, that you are still young and you're still learning the different trades of fullback, the different trades of wing. But when there are other players who are also doing well in particular positions where you feel that you could be doing better, how key does the art of remaining patient in ensuring that at some point your skills in a particular position will then take you to a higher level?
It's very key. It's very key. I mean, I think patience is just as important as working hard. I mean, you can't just expect to play every weekend. You can't just expect for the coach to select you every weekend. I mean, you need to also bring your part. You need to deliver, as I said. And I know as well as anyone else that my form hasn't been too great. But as I'm saying, as soon as my form is up there, it'll show in my team selection, in me playing more games at outside center or more games at 15. But I'm 100% sure in believing in the process, and I'm 100% sure that once I hit my best again, it'll definitely show in team selection. So it's very hard to stay patient, but patience is a virtue, if I can put it that way.
Thank you.
Kanyuso, are you happy? Are we all happy?
Yep, I'm happy.
Cool, Ashfaq.
So good, man.
One more, just in terms of the Currie Cup group, I think the URC team played against Griquas and then last week as well against Zebre. Just in terms of your group's progress, how do you feel things are going? It was difficult early in the season.
100%. I think it wasn't just difficult for our group; it was difficult for both groups early in the season. I mean, we lost 7 or 8 in a row, but I mean, we slowly but surely turning it around. I mean, we got 2 good wins this past weekend, and I think, as we always said or told ourselves, that the most important games of the season are the last 3 games, which are the quarters, semis, and finals. So we're just pushing very hard to somehow slide into the playoffs of the Currie Cup. Then we'll take it from there. And then same with the URC. I mean, if we can get a good win this weekend, and regardless of who we play in the last 3 weeks, we get 3 more wins, we win the trophy. So it's been very tough, but we've worked hard to turn it around, and we knew it would come. I mean, we knew that sport is up and down. So whenever you hit that dip, it's just important to keep on doing the things you know and do the things you know well, and then sooner rather than later, you'll get out of that dip and we'll start winning games again.
Alrighty, thank you so much, guys. Just to remind you on the record that this is an embargo for 3 this afternoon. Kate, okay, you can have the last questions. Thanks.
Thanks, Lunga. Hi, Wandisile. Hi to everybody. Sorry, man, I don't know what you've been asked, but I'm just going to follow up with what Ashfaq just asked you now. When you guys had your downtime, must you say, when things were not going well, what kind of conversations were you having as players to turn it around? I mean, you're saying you're always determined and you knew it was going to turn around, but when you're in that rut, what do you say to each other?
I mean, we always try to motivate each other. motivate each other to work harder, to focus more on our details, focus more on the smaller things that we usually don't focus on when we're on a high. I mean, for example, we'll play a game and get a lot wrong, but just because we got the victory, we don't necessarily put as much effort into what we got wrong then. But when you start losing games, there's actually lots of effort and detail as to in the reviews of the game. So we just had to motivate each other, make sure that we take care of the smaller details. And in saying that, you'll do that week in, week out. And the more you lose, the more you just feel like you're not tipping over. But the focus was just for us to just carry on knocking the door, and eventually we knew it would open. And as I said, we knew at the back of our minds that the only thing we need to focus on is just making playoffs, and then from there we'll just take it week by week. And luckily, I think we've achieved that in the URC, and a couple of more Currie Cup wins. We should be good to make playoffs, and we take it from there.
Sorry, just to follow up, was there a specific game that you guys targeted to say this will mark our turnaround? I know, as Ashraf mentioned, your Currie Cup, your URC team is the one that played that turnaround match against the Greekos. But like, was there collectively a specific team or a specific game that you targeted to ensure that you can start this tournament?
Not at all. I mean, I think every weekend we play to win. I mean, if it was up to us, we'd literally be undefeated by now. So there's no specific game that we targeted. Every week we want to win, and we want to blow out the opposition. So week by week, we just give it our all. And then, as I said, with us giving it our all, with us doing prepping properly, we knew at some stage it will turn around.